Fight World. It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing, people. Oh yeah, we back with some more boxing. Just want to talk this boxing game real quick. Hope everyone's having a good day out there. Yeah, just a random stream. David, what's up? Two Davids back to back. DT, what's up? How are you doing? Tyro Garcia, what up? Melvin. Yeah, man, we out here. 112K, Wakanda forever. I just got back. I went to see Black Panther for the second time. I took my parents and my sister because I went on a date the first time. They didn't get to see it, so I just took them. We got a shooter on deck, King Corleone. Shout out to Texas. He says new media or no media. Y'all, I like that. I like that. Ego's Army in the house. Ego Mafia. I told you we are the mob, money on top of boxing. Let's get it. Yeah, but go see Black Panther. I enjoyed it. Hey, real shit. Marvel Studios is killing the game. I think Marvel's been putting out the better movies. Like, I didn't get to see Justice League, but I know it didn't do good at the box office considering how much it cost to make. Marvel's been doing pretty good. Like, that new Avengers looks wet. Got everybody in it. You know what I mean? I didn't get to see the new Thor, the Thor Rancor or whatever it's called. I didn't get to see that one, but the Captain America 2 is wet. Marvel's is definitely doing their thing. I enjoyed Black Panther. Like I said, I just got back from the theater. I took my parents to go see it and my sister. And I don't know. It just gets better and better. All right, we got a lot of people. We got a lot of people already here. So let's get the roll call out of the way. I'd like to know. I did see that picture with Andre Ward and Dimitri Bivol. Roll call. Let's get that out of the way first. City, state, zip. Rep where you from. Bang where you from, man. Let's get it. Jackson, MS, Chirac, South Carolina, Queens. Smash the like button. Marvel shitting on DC. Hate to say it because Batman's my nigga. Houston, San Ho, Fort Worth, Dallas, South Jamaica, Queens, Syria, Atlanta, Toledo, ATL, Charlotte, Phoenix, Arizona, 215 Philly, Riverside, motherfucker, Seattle, LA, baby, Syracuse, Memphis, Brownsville, Kansas City, DFW in the house, 76140, St. Pete, 33716, Chi-Town, 60623, Hesperia, California, 92345, Brooklyn, the A, Houston, Alief, Texas, MD, Fresno, California, Kansas City, 816, St. Louis, Bridgeport, Connecticut, 203. Let's get it, man. Grand Rapids. Damn. Y'all from everywhere. But so we'll do another roll call. East Oakland, Lexington, Phoenix, North Carolina, New York, Detroit, 316, Tulsa, Oklahoma, 714, Houston, Central Texas. Nobody from Wakanda? Okay. NorCal, 530. Now let's talk about the situation. We'll do another roll call. San Diego, I see you. Listen, the WBC did an interview with ESPN Deportes, and they stated that Keith Thurman has 2 mandatories. Now, I don't like that. I don't. I told you I did a video about it earlier. It already got like 11,000 views on it. I just dropped it. So shout out to you guys for the engagement and just, you know what I mean, the support. But Jermell Charlo had to face 2 mandatories. Yeah, but I don't like it. I just don't. And I think Keith Thurman is in a different position than Jermell Charlo, because Jermell Charlo just has the WBC belt. Keith Thurman has the WBA and the WBC. You know what I'm saying? So, like, what fans are getting angry with Thurman at, you know what I'm saying, is they want to see him fight. Hold on, I gotta take this allergy pill. They want to see him fight, obviously, Errol Spence Jr. or Terrence Crawford. You know what I mean? Like the top guys. Rematches are cool, but people want to see really Errol Spence, the Errol Spence. And Terrence Crawford is a beast. He's a dog, but we gotta see how he looks at that weight class. You know what I'm saying? So that's on hold. Plus, he's with Bob Arum in Top Rank, so that's a whole nother slew of issues, and we got to see how that even unfolds. But the Errol Spence should be something, since they have the same advisor, that should be something that's doable. And then now, if we have two mandatories that he must face, then it's kind of, to me, it's kind of dumb, because now he has an excuse. We already know one of his fights back is not going to be a fight we're probably super jazzed about, because he has to ease his way back in with the injury. Fine, you know what I mean? That's understandable. But beyond that, I mean, people want to see great fights. Like, test out the, what if your elbow feels great? And you know what I mean? And everything's working to perfection. This surgery really helped out. You know what I'm saying? People are going to want to see good fights. And I told you, like, for me, and this is how I've always been. I'm very consistent on my channel. I don't really need to see I don't really need to see rematches unless they need to happen. Canelo Triple G needs to happen. You know what I mean? Even if you don't like the fight, you got to understand it. Because the first one was riddled in controversy. Adelaide Bird had a fucked up scorecard. You know what I mean? And people thought it could have went different ways. Some people were cool with the draw. So you got to see that again. Ward Kovalev, too much controversy. You got to see that, run that back. But as far as I'm concerned, Keith Thurman versus Sean Porter was the fight of the year for that particular year, I think 2016. But I thought Keith Thurman won. I thought he pulled away, you know what I mean? And I thought he was the clear victor. But maybe some people thought Porter won. But definitely the Danny Garcia fight. I think Danny Garcia had too much of a slow start. He got busted up with some good shots in that first round, first 2 rounds or so, when Keith Thurman was aggressive, gang. And he became hesitant, and it took him a minute to get off the blocks. So the Danny Garcia fight was more a decisive victory for Keith Thurman. I think the Porter fight was closer, but those aren't rematches that they could be good rematches, but I don't necessarily have to see them straight away, right? I don't have to see them straight away unless there were, like, if that'd be fine if there were no other compelling fights like Errol Spence. You get what I'm saying? And that's where I'm at. Like, if there weren't the Terrence Crawfords and the Errol Spence, those are undefeated guys. You already put a blemish on Sean Porter's resume, and you put one on Danny Garcia's. So you didn't put no blemish on Errol Spence or Terrence Crawford's resume yet. So let's see it to see if you can do that. You know what I mean? And especially if Crawford beats Jeff Horn, he'll be the man. You know what I mean? He'll be one of the men. WBO champion. You know, we already know IBF champion is Errol Spence Jr. So I'm not feeling what the WBC did with this 2 mandatory, because now this shit just works into Keith Thurman's favor. You know what I mean? In terms of what he's been saying in interviews. Now he might not fuck around and fight a Crawford or Errol Spence to like 2019 late or 2020. I mean, if you think about it, because from what I've seen, Keith Thurman said he's fighting 2 times this year. One of them he already acknowledged is a get back fight, and it's probably not even someone in the top 10. Definitely not a champion. So this next fight, I'm just expecting it to be somebody that is a get back fight. So it's not going to be a big name, most likely. Or if it is a big name, it's not going to be a big name with a lot of traction and momentum like an Errol Spence Jr. So then, let's say he rematches Sean Porter and beats him again. Then he's going to have to fight Danny Garcia? Really? I don't like that. And I told you, I feel I have the perfect solution to all of this. All right, I'm going to put you in a hot seat, bro. Your name is Keith Thurman, and you said stop clowning Thurman 2019. He stops everyone. Listen, you sound like a groupie. This, my friends, is a man fan, and we got to put him in a hot seat. I'm not clowning Keith Thurman. See, this is the problem with man fans like you. Your name is Keith Thurman on YouTube, so you're obviously a stan. Hey Keith, I wrote you, but you still ain't calling. Like that, you're a stan. You could have signed this boxing glove for Matthew. That's my little brother, man. Like, you're a fucking stan. Hi, mister, I'm too good to write my fans. This will be the last letter I ever send your ass. Like, your name is Keith Thurman. Like, this is what these motherfuckers do, man. They, yo, Ego, you're biased, but your name is Keith Thurman. Or your boy that got blocked 1,000 times and kept coming back. He says, I'm biased against Lomachenko, but his name is Loma Checkers with a picture of Lomachenko in Ninja Turtle spandex. Like, come on, man. Like, I'm not here for the dumb shit. Like, and see, this is how I know a lot of y'all are corn dogs, because you don't, your name is Keith Thurman, so I'm not even expecting you to be objective at all in any way, shape, or form, because not just your name, that's cool if you, I guess you really want to be named after another dude, but because of your comment with it, you know what I'm saying? You a corn dog. It's and then the worst part about boxing is these motherfuckers have the audacity to say I'm biased. I'm the one that's not giving someone a fair shake. Like, I could tell by the temperament and the tone of y'all comments where it is. You know what I mean? Because, and what it is. Because at the end of the day, if I say something good about Errol Spence, who's doing what he's supposed to be doing, you know what I mean? Oh, you fucking love Errol Spence. You sucking that truth dick. Oh, you love that. You love DeSoto, Texas. Oh, you're in love. Like, why does it gotta be all that? I'm in love with a man, and you know what I'm saying? Why does it gotta be? Why can't it just be Errol Spence is the one in the division, or one of the people in boxing or whatever, who's doing what I think is right? You know what I mean? Why does it gotta be a bunch of homoerotic? Oh, you love Errol. Oh, you want to be in camp with him, if you know what I mean. Like, what the fuck are y'all talking about? Meanwhile, your name is Keith Thurman, and you're talking about stop picking on Keith. Nobody's picking on him. You're talking about stop clowning him. I'm not clowning him. I'm giving my opinion. This is what's wrong with this new, look, I'm gonna show y'all. This is what's wrong with this new, I hate this new generation. Look, this is a current rapper. This is y'all role models and gangster rappers.
Hey man, I see y'all talking a lot on the internet. You did, y'all hating on me and stuff, but for real, y'all will not pull up on me in real life. I let that blade hit. I don't even need a strap.
What?
What you did? You know what's popping? Oh, it's flop on this joint you did. At the end of the day, y'all could all get out for real. Even y'all. Hey.
Bro, this is who y'all, all y'all that be leaving comments, this is who y'all look up to. Boy, if you don't get your Macaulay Culkin, Home Alone, Fifth Element, Kurt Cobain, Aaron Carter, Adam Sandler, Big Daddy, Scuba Steve Lycan, I wipe my own ass, Taylor Swift, Christian Slater, Gleaming the Cube, Skater, Die, Tanner Family, Olsen Twins, looking ass the fuck up out of here. Fuck you mean? Like, I'm sick of y'all, man. I hate. That look like the little boy from Big Daddy. I wipe my own ass. Leave me alone. Someone said fake ass Zach Morris looking motherfucker, Bayside High looking motherfucker. Fuck you mean? Sick of y'all. Leave Keith alone. No, I'm not doing nothing to Keith. You know what I'm saying? And bro, I'm about sick of boxing fans. So excuse me in advance if I'm. Then people will be like, oh, you won't say it to Keith's face. What? I'm 6'5", man. I'm a grown man. Like, I'm an adult. I'm not out here looking for trouble or trying to fight people, but like, I'm not really worried about what's gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? If I say Keith, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying nothing crazy. That's y'all. Y'all be, oh, Danny Garcia's a bit. Y'all the ones that wouldn't say the shit y'all say. I'm not out here talking crazy. I've interviewed Keith Thurman before. Good dude. I like his take on boxing oftentimes. But I'm telling you, man, this is the shit. This is y'all role models.
Man, I see y'all talking a lot on the internet. You did, y'all hating on me.
That man, this dude pulled out a fucking sword and said, I'll let the blade hit. Bro, how you gonna conceal a sword? He said y'all won't pull up, so you just gonna carry a fucking sword everywhere with you. Like, man, come on. You ain't Conan the Barbarian. Like, you just gonna carry a sword with you? I'm not talking boxing. I'm talking what I want. Listen, if y'all don't like the tone, y'all don't like the concepts, the flow of don't be here. It's very simple. We do all right for ourselves over here. You know what I mean? I'll be like, hey, Black Panther was a good movie. Let's get back to boxing. Fuck the Black Panther. Fuck Huey Newton. Fuck Huey Newton, man. Like, yeah, I can't take a sip of water. I can't talk about anything unless it's boxing related. Just don't be on the channel. Somebody, oh my God, y'all are funny as fuck. Someone said fake ass He-Man, Castle Grayskull looking motherfucker, Masters of the Universe looking motherfucker. But anyway, back to this whole Keith situation. Your name is Keith Thurman. You talking about stop? Remember that dude that I think he was homosexual, and he was like, he did that video and he's like, leave Britney alone, when people were mad at Britney Spears. Leave Britney. That's how y'all sound. Stop clowning Keith. Leave Britney alone. Like, nobody's clowning Keith. I don't care for what the WBC did with the 2 mandatories, and I want to see the Errol Spence Jr. fight. Point blank, period. Ego, you have too big of a fan base to not know how boxing and injuries work. Bro, like, unless you're trying to be in this hot seat and get flamed up in front of the viewers, just stop that. Like, stop. Who says I don't know how injuries work? I'm in gyms. I go cover fights. I'm not you. I don't just watch it on TV or occasionally go to a fight. I know fighters. Shout out to Caleb Plant. You know what I'm saying? On his victory. Like, I actually know fighters. I be around fighters. I know fighters personally. I be at gyms. You know what I'm saying? So of course I know how injuries work. So don't come at me like, you know what I mean? Don't insult my intelligence. Anyway, listen. Truth be told, see, now I'm gonna blow the dust off the record, because y'all be saying a lot of crazy stuff. Truth be told, Kell Brook, he fought Errol Spence Jr. coming off of an injury. Like him or not, he came off a Golovkin injury from a higher weight class, 2 divisions up. So even though he came up short, he still did it. He still took on his mandatory, right? Sean Porter hurt his hand. I got a picture sent to me from Team Porter directly, exclusively after the fight. I was at the fight in New York. It was on the Wilder Stavern 2 card, right? So guess what? In the Granados fight, Sean Porter, they thought it was broken. You know what I mean? I was talking to Kenny Porter, and he was like, man, Sean Porter was like, he was bugging. He was like, because he's never been injured in combat, like in a fight like that. Or he's not even really been, I don't think he's really been injured too much outside of a fight, let alone during a fight. So he was just like kind of flipping out, and he said, I had to like calm my son down, right? So guess what? Sean Porter still pulled up on Danny Garcia, and he's coming off of an injury, and he's pulling up on Keith Thurman, and he's pulling up on Danny Garcia, and he's saying he wants that work. So don't tell me about injuries. I know all about injuries. Listen to my dude Floyd Mayweather. He always tells you. He's like, Pacquiao said something about his shoulder. He's like, I fought this fight with an injury. If you're a true champion, you make adjustment. You know how Floyd be talking. Floyd, I don't know how true this is, but he said he fought his whole career. He said the only fight where he was like 100% was in the fight with Arturo Gatti, and you've seen what he did in that particular fight. But he said other than that, he said he ain't never really been 100% in a fight or a fight camp. You know what I mean? He said he's always had little nagging injuries, brittle hands. So, like, come on, man. Don't tell me about injuries. I told you, I'm Frank Castle of this boxing shit. I'm the Punisher. There will be justice out this motherfucker. And if y'all don't like it, like Mike Tyson said, I'm talking to you how I want to talk to you. If you don't like it, change the station. Fine, we could. Like, don't be here. Like, because I'm not talking. See, and that's the thing. I'm not talking. I don't disrespect nobody. To get respect, to earn respect, respect is earned. You know what I'm saying? to get respect, you have to speak with respect. So if y'all come at me crazy, I'm gonna come at y'all crazy. You know what I mean? If y'all come at me cool and just have a different opinion, then I'll come at you cool. But when y'all start saying wild stuff and, oh, ego, you stupid bitch, okay, then that's something else. You know what I mean? You don't get to be undefeated for 20 years being defensive only. Yeah, I mean, people who say that don't know shit about boxing, because defense alone is not gonna help you win fights. You know what I mean? If, like, even in a team sport like a basketball, if there's a team that has the best defense, but they're not putting no points on the board, then they're not gonna win the fight. You know what I'm saying? You have to have an offense in order to win. You have to have scoring shots land. So people who say all that, oh, but I mean, it's the same motherfuckers who say, oh, Floyd, he waited till everyone got old. I mean, fuck that. Then it's their fault for getting old, especially when they're younger than him. You know what I mean? So if you have a style that where you fight like a madman and you take punishment, and your old is being Robert Guerrero's age, you know what I mean? Much younger than Floyd, and that's old for you, then that's part of your style. That's part of your fault. You should have worked on your defense. You know what I mean? Oh, Floyd, but he cherry picked. But it's not about Floyd. Let's talk about the current welterweights. I'm just not a fan of this two mandatory stuff. And I really feel okay, I'm not arguing with remedial people. He says boxing ego. Actually, you can win a boxing match with no offense, just defense. Okay. Then why didn't Lamont Peterson beat Danny Garcia? Because he was very defensive, but he wasn't throwing that many punches in the first half of the fight. Y'all say stupid shit, man. Point blank period. Y'all say stupid. You actually, okay, so go 12 rounds with somebody and don't throw a punch and see if you win that fight. You know what I mean? Especially when I've seen fights where a person is aggressive but not even necessarily really doing shit, and judges be scoring it for, especially like Harold Letterman. You know what I mean? There'll be times where Chocolatito or Golovkin, what they're doing is not even super effective. Like, let's say versus Canelo, and Letterman be like, okay, Jim, Chocolatito, he's up 13 rounds to 1. Like, it's a 12-round fight. How's he up 13 rounds to 1? Your math is off. Yeah, man, that's that HBO shit, just coming forward and you're winning the fight. So if anything, I've seen people score for shitty offense, even though it's not effective, which really goes against the scoring criteria. It's supposed to be effective aggression. You talking about you can win a 12-round fight or a championship level fight with no offense, just defense. Please stop. Floyd turns his defense into offense, then it's still offense. You're not making any sense. Floyd turns his defense into an offense. Then it's not. What? It's like if I have tomatoes and I'm like, this ain't ketchup, but I've already turned it into ketchup form. Like, it doesn't make sense. What are you talking about? If you turn the tomato into ketchup, then it's ketchup. You guys say lunatic stuff. If you have garbanzo beans and then you smash it up and make hummus, then it's hummus. You can't be like, nope, even though it looks and it's the same consistency as hummus, it's actually garbanzo beans. No, if he turns his defense into offense, guess what? It's still offense. Doesn't even make sense. Y'all be tongue twisting yourselves. Some oxymoron. Bro, just stop because you sound horrific. He says, that's defense into offense. What are you talking about? You sound primitive. If either it's defense or it's offense. Like, if LeBron James is playing basketball and he blocks a shot for the other team, then that's his defense. If he goes to the rack and dunks it, then that's his offense. So yes, him blocking a shot and then running down the court and dunking, he turned his defense into his offense. But guess what? When he dunks it, that's offense. Please stop. You know, he dunked it, but he dunked it defensively. What? Y'all gotta leave me alone, man. Anyway, I'm not a fan of the the two mandatory thing. I don't think it really makes sense. Bro, you guys sound terrible. Stop watching boxing. Go watch MMA or cricket or something. Hey, Boxing Ego, if a person misses so much punches that he gets too tired to get off the stool, you can't even spell stool, and quits, did you use offense to beat him or defense? Bro, you sound stupid, because why would he quit on the stool if you're just dodging shots? Like, bro, it doesn't even make sense. So if someone's not throwing punches and they're just evading shots, and you can't hit them, why are they quitting on the stool? Like, even in the Lomachenko-Rigondeaux fight, Lomachenko was throwing punches. You know what I'm saying? It's not like he didn't throw punches and Rigondeaux just said, oh, fuck this, I can't hit him good. Y'all sound crazy. Just stop. Because the more you try, see, some arguments that are like that, the more you try to explain, the worse it is for you. I don't care what you're talking about. It doesn't make sense. You talking about he quit on the stool. Like, what is a stool, first of all? You mean stool? Learn how to spell. And why would someone quit? If someone's quit, there's usually because they can't hit the person. In addition to that, they're getting picked off. Then they'll quit. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you fight Floyd Mayweather, you start getting frustrated, not only because he's defensive, but you're getting frustrated because he's pot shotting you and picking you off with shots. Like, pop, pop, you know what I'm saying? Like Floyd says, you make a mistake, then you gotta pay. Anyway, I'm done with that whole topic. If y'all believe that you're winning championship level sanctioned fights, 12-round fights, elite level fights, all off of defense. Now, again, your defense can set things up for you to do things offensively, but you gotta throw punches, you know what I mean, period. Don't throw punches, the ref will take you out of the fight. That's what I'm saying. When you go just dodge shots and clinch, and then you win, oh, he won the round. And again, most fighters, unless they have no heart, if you're not giving them something to think about, then what would discourage them from throwing their own punches? You know what I'm saying? If all you're doing is missing shots, you know what I'm saying? You're making a miss, but they're not throwing nothing. They're just, that's stupid. I'm done with this conversation. Anyway, Keith Thurman, I don't like the two mandatory thing. Mikey versus Spence, who you got? Spence. I mean, I keep saying this and I say it loosely. Size matters. Size matters. It does and it doesn't, in my opinion. It does to a degree, or it doesn't to a degree. If you're like a Floyd Mayweather, where your skill set, your ring IQ, your defense is so sharp and that much sharper than your opponent, where you can box smart for a couple rounds and decode and collect data, you know what I mean? Then of course Floyd can beat bigger guys, right? Or like, let's say Pacquiao, when he fought Margarito. Margarito is bigger, but Pacquiao was way more athletic, very awkward, threw a lot of punches. Margarito has no defense, and Pacquiao was like in and out, like do-do-do-do, do-do-do-do-do, do-do-do-do. You know what I'm saying? So he couldn't really keep up with that frenetic pace or whatever. So there's instances where size won't matter, but usually, again, it's at the elitist of levels. When you have two guys with momentum, two guys with great skill, you know what I mean, or like severe advantages in speed or power or whatever, pressure, volume, then size will matter. You know what I mean? Like, I truly believe Kell Brook has more skill than Gennady Golovkin. All around skill, not just like offensive skill, all around. Like, I would say Kell Brook is slicker, probably faster, definitely faster feet in general, and there's more athleticism and slickness. But him moving up to Golovkin's weight, 2 weight classes above, where Golovkin does have a nasty offense, you know what I mean? Then that's his undoing. You know what I mean? So size does matter to a degree. Mikey Garcia, he's very fundamentally sound, but he's also going to be a lot smaller than Errol Spence Jr. And Errol Spence is going to try to break him down. And this is the thing. I was at Broner's fight with Mikey Garcia, and from what I seen, Broner wasn't even really throwing that many punches at 140, mind you, right? At 140, he wasn't even throwing, and I seen Broner hurt Mikey Garcia later in the fight. Thing is, he didn't follow up with it. Errol Spence, from what I've seen, that's never been a problem. If he gets guys hurt, he usually is smart about finishing them, and he usually will finish you. You know what I mean? Kell Brook started getting tired and hurt and all that, then the end was near. Lamont Peterson started getting dropped and shit, the end was near. So it's going to be a way different fight than a Broner or something. Plus, I think Broner has cool power, but I think Errol Spence, his power is great. I mean, Jermell Charlo was talking about he ain't never been hit as hard. He's a 154-pounder, and he's big. You know what I mean? And he's talking about Errol Spence hit him the hardest ever. So, and he sparred with Edeslani Lada and shit like that. So that's my thoughts. I just, like I said, I like Mikey. It's not, if y'all asking me a fight prediction, I would lean towards Errol Spence Jr. But I mean, like I said, to me, I'm not trying to call Mikey's bluff and say he don't want the fight, but I just think there's a lot of things that could get in the way. Because I seen an interview with Robert Garcia, and he was talking about he doesn't want Mikey at welterweight in general. And he was saying something like he didn't sound like he was comfortable with Mikey fighting Errol Spence Jr., right? So if your own trainer / brother don't want you to fight him, is the fight really going to get made? And like I said, to me, I'm not considering Mikey's call out real until he's ready to fight Errol Spence Jr. Errol Spence don't have an official announced opponent for June. So if you really wanted to fight him, say, hey, after Sergey Lipinets, I'll be your Huckleberry in June. But that's not what he's saying. He's talking about fighting Sergey Lipinets, doing the damn thing, then dropping to lightweight to fight Jorge Linares or something, and then maybe fighting Errol Spence. So it's kind of like a future type thing. So if you're not ready, it's not a real call out unless you're trying to fight the person right then and there. Like, you know what I mean? As soon as ASAP. Like T.I. said, ASAP. Hey, a G, you know what I mean? I can't take it as a serious call out unless you would be willing to fight them pretty much in the next fight or the next few months. You know what I mean? That's like Canelo, if he's like, oh, take the gloves off. I'm from Mexico, we don't fuck around, but I'm not fighting Golovkin this year. You know what I mean? Then it's not a real call up to me. Yo, we got a lot of people in the stream. Make sure y'all smash the like button. We got to get the likes up. Show YouTube that engagement. We just rocking, vibing out, talking, just talking boxing talk. See, Errol Spence, this is the fucked up thing about boxing. Fucked up thing about boxing is like guys who are trying to do it right, oftentimes they're confident. So, oh, we got a super chat from Christopher Lee, $5 Shmoney Gang. Shout out to Chris. He says only person that could have beat Errol at 147 is Kell Brook. Those were two big welterweights in the ring. Yeah, I think Kell Brook technically has, like, probably stylistically had the best chance. I don't know. I got to see what Terrence Crawford is talking about. I'm not ruling him out. But again, I think that's the most dangerous fight for both guys. I think Errol Spence is the most dangerous fight for Terrence Crawford, and I think Terrence Crawford is the most dangerous fight for Errol Spence. So this is my opinion. If Jeff Horn or something stops Crawford, then obviously that'll prove that theory wrong. But we gotta wait and see. We gotta wait and see what happens. All right, let's put Keith Thurman in the hot seat. I don't even know why I shouldn't even let you have. See, this is what happens. You already get clowned, and you should have been in the hot seat, and then you keep saying stupid stuff, right? Keith Thurman says he said Crawford, please. So what's so crazy about that? I think Crawford would beat Keith Thurman too. You know what I'm saying? See, this is the thing. Notice the difference between me and them. I'm not being disrespectful. I'm not saying, oh, Terrence Crawford, he'll dog Errol Spence. I just told you that's the toughest fight for both of them. So you notice how I said something perfectly reasonable, and I can facilitate and back up why I feel that way. And then you get a clown with the name of a fighter who he is not, and his name is Keith Thurman, and he's talking about, oh, haha, he said Crawford, like I said something crazy. I don't think what I said was really even crazy at all. So once again, separate the real from the fake. Who knows boxing and who doesn't? He said Crawford. He said Crawford could be like. I didn't even. That's not even a fight producer. I just said they would be each other's toughest fights. But anyway, you're a man fan. That's why your name is Keith Thurman, and you've named your whole page after another man. Collect your L, and keep talking. Say something crazy, and you go be in the hot seat. Keep talking. Keith Thurman will give Crawford hell if they fight. Were to happen this early. Ego. I mean, you guys can say whatever the fuck you want. I'll say what I want. Shout out to King Corleone. See, y'all be coming up with these fake clown names, I guess trying to troll me. You in here for 10 seconds, then my shooters, pow. So be it. You remember that shit, motherfucker, because I'm the one y'all need to work, partner. But anyway, say what you want. I know light heavyweights that spar Crawford, and they tell me what it is. So y'all, most of you guys, from what I see, and having 0 subscribers and not being in the gyms, a lot of you guys are just going off of your own personal knowledge. A lot of y'all motherfuckers is probably the same ones talking about Chocolatito's #1 pound for pound, Golovkin's #1 pound for pound, and then when I say something like, oh, Crawford, that's a difficult fight for Errol Spence. So I'm just outrageous in that statement. But you saying Chocolatito Gonzalez #1 pound for pound, that was perfectly sensible, right? But anyway, like I said, I know people that have sparred Crawford. Do you? Once again, grown men that instead of talking about boxing, they rather talk about what I look like, what my beard's looking like. That's y'all are real life weirdos. Like, get you a girl, or they got them new sex dolls. Get you one of them, or get it on layaway. But that's weird. It's creepy to me. That guy, oh, you need to trim your beard. Trim that shit. Fuck yeah. Like, oh, what are you drinking, man? Y'all care a lot about me. I'm just trying to talk boxing. Bro, stop responding to trolls. No, listen, I'm gonna tell y'all once and for, and this is not being pompous. Leave. If you don't want to be here, if you don't like the direction of the flow of the conversation, don't be here. I conduct my channel how I want to conduct it. This is entertainment. I'm here to entertain you guys. We talk boxing. We do movie reviews. We talk about life. Let's talk about, go somewhere else. You guys can't change the flow of the conversation like that. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, I'm gonna talk about, oh, stop responding to them. It's entertainment. I'm doing what the fans want. So just like a roller coaster, just sit back, chill. I agree, Crawford versus Spence would be welterweight heaven. Yeah, I don't think it's even that shocking that anyone would think that. I don't know if I'm going to Wilder or Ortiz yet. I got a couple days to apply for the credential. But I'm picking Wilder over Ortiz, but again, it's a good fight. Bro, see, some of y'all, I don't know if you realize, I've been doing this. Someone says, you getting upset with the real fans but entertaining the trolls. I'm not upset. Like, just because somebody changes the inflection of their voice, like, do y'all, like, just so we're all in the clear, y'all can't upset me. Like, I don't know you. You know what I'm saying? I don't know you. How am I gonna let a stranger, I've been doing this too long. Why would I let a stranger affect, like, oh shit, you guys really think I lose sleep? Oh shit, I can't sleep. Like, why? Because some guy named Keith Thurman He said I was a jerk. He said like y'all can't upset me. I'm not upset. Y'all always be thinking I'm mad because I respond to something. This is my job. I mean, it's a stream. What do you want me not to respond to anything? You're so mad, man. Ego just a little too in defensive mode. Good, then leave. Leave. I want you guys to leave. All y'all that are trying to misdirect and redirect the stream, leave. Leave. That's it. Leave. Gerald Del Gallo, $2 super chat, Shmoney Gang. Keith versus Victor Ortiz for a tune-up. I think it's possible. I thought Ortiz lost to Devin Alexander, but I mean Keith already mentioned he's not fighting no one probably top 10, so maybe he'll fight someone like a Victor Ortiz. But I don't like, as a fight, I wouldn't be like, it would be just what Keith Thurman says, a get back fight. I wouldn't be like, oh yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because Ortiz, his biggest thing is he's not. I don't know. I don't, as a fight, I wouldn't be juiced, to put it that way. You know what I mean? Because Victor Ortiz, if you look at his fight with Devin Alexander's not even the biggest puncher or whatever, and Victor Ortiz, I don't know what's happened, but his eye was all busted up and swollen shut. So I think he might have too much scar tissue or just too much inactivity, and then trying to come back and then do a movie and try, you know what I mean? So I don't think it'd be as competitive. Maybe back a couple years ago or something. Keith versus Mikey, who you got, Ego? Keith. Mikey's gonna have some issue at 47, from what I think. I think Errol Spence stylistically is a worse fight for Mikey. Terrence Crawford, I think that's a worse fight for Mikey. But I still don't even see him beating Keith Thurman, to be honest. Like, I really be watching, see, listen, I really watch boxing, and it's, like I said, I'm not trying to disrespect any fighters or whatever, but you got to keep in mind little stuff like, I'm not one of those people who say, like, oh, Danny Jacobs, he got knocked out by Dimitri Pirot, so he's going to be easy work for Golovkin, because I put stuff into perspective, you know what I mean? But there are some things that you can take into mind. Mikey Garcia got dropped by Roman Martinez. So if you can get countered by him, guys like Keith Thurman and Errol Spence can definitely get you, to me. And just stylistically, I think that's just a difficult fight stylistically, aside from Mikey's past fights and stuff. That's just difficult. Who Dat Nation, $2 super chat, gang gang. Hurd versus Lada, got Hurd, and he will beat the Charlos. I gotta see that. Hurd's my dude. I gotta see it though, because Hurd, he needs to work on his defense a bit. Austin Trout was touching him with some shots, so if he doesn't improve that, Edeslani Lada is just crafty. He throws that left in a variety of different ways, so you don't want to be taking them shots from Lada versus Austin Trout. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you can get away with it and walk through it, but I think Lada has more respectable power at 54. So you're not going to want to walk through that. So I think he's going to have to work on that. But it could get interesting if Lada hasn't set a very early tone and badly hurt, or even got, got the respect of Hurd early. Then the second half, Hurd can make it very interesting just from attrition and him being big and his style and having power. Someone said the Charlos are overrated. I don't believe that. You know what I'm saying? And see, listen, y'all, some of y'all be funny with the commentary. Some of y'all be real funny. You know, the Charlos are overrated. I mean, I don't see what they've done recently that's overrated. If anything, I would say they're underrated because they don't get talked about as much. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, when people talk about like Roman Chocolatito Gonzalez and Gennady Golovkin, I would say, I'm not saying they are overrated, but I can understand people saying they are overrated more because they get sensationalized and built to such a level that it would be hard for anybody, unless you're like a perfect fighter, to live up to those proportions. You know what I'm saying? So to me, I don't think the Charlos are overrated. You know what I mean? I would say at middleweight, Golovkin is more overrated, and it's not that he's not a good fighter. It's merely, if you let HBO tell it, let ESPN tell it, they'll act like he can't be beat. They'll act like he was gonna knock out everybody, and nobody. And Abel Sanchez was saying, "Oh yeah, no fighter can go from 154." That motherfucker gave a range from 154 to 175. Nobody could go 12 rounds with Golovkin. You know what I'm saying? So to me, statements like, I'm not saying he's overrated, but overhyped might be a better word, because now the hype has to match. You know what I mean? Just like the hype doesn't match what's being said about the person. You know what I'm saying? Again, Golovkin is a good fighter, but when you're talking about, oh, the Charlos are overrated, people aren't even talking about them. People are making excuses why guys like Canelo and Triple G don't need to fight the Charlos. So I don't think, you know what I'm saying? They never did that. They never said all these, when Triple G was pressing Canelo, they never made all these excuses. Oh, he hasn't sold Canelo numbers, and when's he sold out a Azteca Stadium, and all this prerequisite bullshit that they do for black fighters like the Charlos. You know what I'm saying? And the shout out to Kane, D Bad Guy. He says prematurely be praised too. That's another thing. A lot of these guys get praised and compared before they, like even Lomachenko, he's getting compared to historic greats, Ali and Floyd Mayweather. So to me, that's being overhyped by the machine, because Bob Arum's telling you we ain't never seen nothing like Lomachenko. And in my opinion, I've seen fighters better than Lomachenko. Again, it's not no diss, it's not saying Lomachenko's trash, but you mean to tell me Lomachenko at 130 and 135 with one belt is sensationally better than Roy Jones from 1988 to 2003? Like, really? What does he do? Roy Jones had more power in both hands. You know what I mean? And when he would toy with you, he was like hurting you too. When Lomachenko be doing this shit, it's like guys like get frustrated and like maybe quit. But Roy Jones was gonna get you up out of there. So, you know what I mean? I can't say the Charlos are overrated, because I don't think they're being rated high enough. I think both Charlos, they could be the man at the division. You know what I'm saying? So y'all be saying stupid shit to me. That's just the best way to put it. I'm sorry. Because like, how are you overrated when you could possibly be atop of the division? Like if, okay, Lada's fighting Hurd. The winner of that fight, if they were to fight Jermell Charlo, guess what? He has a chance to beat them. So how's he overrated? Same thing with Jermall Charlo. There's a chance that he could beat Canelo. There's a chance that he could beat Golovkin, a chance he could beat Danny Jacobs. Those are all the top guys in the division. And you can, I guess you can include Demetrius Andre, but Andre's been kind of inactive, so we're not gonna consider him. So how are they overrated when there's a definite chance they can beat? That's like when people, oh, Terrence Crawford's overrated. There's a chance he could be the best welterweight and beat all the guys. Oh, Errol Spence, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people want to call these black fighters overrated. You know what I mean? Oh, Errol Spence, there's a chance Errol Spence could beat everyone at welterweight. So how's he overrated? Doesn't make sense, man. Crawford not on top till he win his first 147 fight. Like I said, there's a chance. Listen to the wording. I said there's a chance that Terrence Crawford could be the man and be the ultimate at 147. I didn't say, I just said earlier in the stream, we got to see how he looks. We got to see how he looks at 147, because it's a different division. Lemieux versus Charlo, I'm definitely picking Charlo. Lemieux, he's been beat a couple ways. He's been stopped. He's been beat by the jab. That's a bad fight for Lemieux, to be honest, because Lemieux, to me, he got cracks, maybe even the most power at middleweight. But if he can't get you out of there and get you hurt, You know what I mean? Especially if you, I mean, if I was Charlo, I would just watch the Golovkin fight. Golovkin had a good stiff jab, and Lemieux didn't do nothing with it. And Charlo's even taller than Golovkin, and he has a great jab as well. And he's just more athletic than Golovkin. So to me, I would watch the fight. You know what I mean? At least it'll be a name. Someone said, nah, it's a good fight to watch. I never said it wouldn't be a good fight to watch, but put your money on David Lemieux in that fight if you want to. That's what I'm saying. I don't see Lemieux winning that fight. Again, he would have to knock out Charlo. T. Machiavelli, who are you talking to? Y'all having arguments. I can't tell if y'all talking to me or who. Billy Joe versus Charlo. I would pick Charlo, to be honest. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, I'm not saying all my predictions are always right, but y'all saying so-and-so is overrated. Oh, Charlo's are overrated. But I think some people you mentioned, I think they would beat them. I think it beat David Lemieux and Billy Joe Saunders. Ryota Murata, I haven't seen enough of him. And he already has a loss. Even though it's like contested or whatever, he still lost. Again, Hassan Indam or some shit. If Canelo win, he's not accepting the belt. Of course, because he's going to use the WBC beef. And then on top of that, he knows that if Charlo beats Hugo Centeno, then he would have to, he could be mandated to fight him. And see, Canelo's in a tight spot too, because in 2016, he vacated a belt to Golovkin. So if he were to do that again 2 years later, that would look horrible. So of course, Canelo's not going to accept the belt because he doesn't want probably that responsibility. He's a big enough star. He can pick fights, you know what I'm saying? So on top of having beef with the WBC, he's not going to want somebody like the WBC to be able to mandate a fight, and then he don't want to fight, and then he has to vacate the belt, and then they enforce the rules, and he looks like, damn, he vacated again. That won't look good for him. Jacobs fighting a tough dude. Yeah, the Solchik or Sulky or whatever his name is. Listen, top 5 middleweights: Canelo, Charlo, Triple G, Danny Jacobs. I would say Demetrius Andrade over Billy Joe Saunders. I'm not sleeping on Billy Joe Saunders, but if Billy Joe Saunders fought Demetrius Andrade, then I would probably pick Demetrius Andrade. You know what I mean? If Billy Joe Saunders fought Golovkin, I would pick Golovkin. If Billy Joe Saunders fought Canelo, I'd pick Canelo. If he fought Danny Jacobs, I'd pick Danny Jacobs. If he fought Charlo, I'd pick Charlo. That wasn't in order. See, y'all be trying to catch me up. Y'all didn't say, I'm not doing all that. He said top 5 middleweights. He didn't say rank them from number 1 to 5. I just said who the top 5 guys were, in my opinion. Y'all be trying to catch me up in my words. Hey, say the top 5. You think Charlo's number 2? No. The list was in no particular order. I'm just telling you who my top 5 guys are. Ego, what you think about Ugas? Is he ready for them at 147? I mean, he's saying he'll fight Errol Spence Jr., so that's cool, because that, you know what I mean, that's not a bad fight. See, again, this is what pisses me off about boxing. This is what pisses me off, because Errol Spence is going to be in the same position as Terrence Crawford at 140, where he's fighting good competition, but they don't have massive names. Like, for example, Terrence Crawford at 40, he fought Julius Ndongo. That's a good fighter. You know what I mean? He was a champion. He was tall as fuck for the division. I was at the fight. And he had beat people in their backyards, right? Felix Diaz, that's Olympic gold medal, a good fighter. Victor Postal, right? These are all good fights for Terrence Crawford. And had it not been Terrence Crawford, I don't think all those fights would have looked like that. You know what I mean? Like, we'll see if Regis Prograis, Regis Prograis, or whatever his name is, however you pronounce it, I guess you say. We'll see if he stops Julius Ndongo coming off of a loss in 3 rounds. He has power. Don't get it any sparred. I mean, not sparred. He fought Errol Spence Jr. in the amateurs more than once. So let's see if he can stop Julius Ndongo in 3 rounds. And I don't think he probably will, even though Ndongo's coming off of a loss. You know what I mean? Because that's a massive step up for who he's faced so far. So fast forward to, this is why it pisses me off. Now Errol Spence, if he fights a guy like Ocampo, his mandatory through the IBF, if he fights a guy like Ugas, who's good but doesn't have a massive name, coming off a really good win versus Ray Robinson, then people are going to try to act like, oh, we can't give him credit. We can't give him credit. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not a massive name. And that's fucked up. Same thing with Danny Jacobs. Danny Jacobs in the same boat. He beat Luis Cuba Arias, undefeated fighter. If he beats the Sulkic, the guy from Poland or whatever, that'd be a good win. He stopped Hugo Centeno Jr., who Jamal Charlo is fighting. But, hey, who is this Portia? Or who's Daria? Yo, shooters, check on this Dario person. If they're leaving crazy comments, you know what to do. Anyway, yeah, a lot of these guys get in the same position. They get in the same position. Y'all got to stop these little sidebar arguments or whatever about blocking each other. Listen, shooters, look at Dario and tell me what it's looking like. But yeah, these fighters is annoying because they get into these situations. They get into these situations where they end up being avoided or whatever. So they, even if they fight good names, even if they're fighting good names, it's not the known names, so people won't give them credit. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, Danny Jacobs, I'm already seeing the bullshit. Oh, who's this sulky? Because they don't know the name, but he's a solid fighter. And people are so in boxing, they're lazy. You know what I'm saying? They're lazy because they don't put stuff into perspective. Oh, Danny Jacobs, what? Why is he fighting Sulkic or whatever the guy's name is? But you have to take into account Golovkin's fighting Canelo, done deal. Hugo Centeno Jr., the number 1 and 2 guys for the WBC, is fighting Jamal Charlo, done deal, right? Billy Joe Saunders, a champion, is fighting Martin Murray, done deal. And he avoided Danny Jacobs from what it looks like. They're talking about David Lemieux versus Gary Spike O'Sullivan for the Canelo May card. So who is Jacobs supposed to fight? He just beat Luis Cuba Arias. You know what I'm saying? He needs to fight. He has to stay active. You know what I mean? And people will badmouth a fight just because they're unfamiliar with the person's name. They don't watch enough boxing. And they'll act like it's Jacobs' fault. Like, what is he going to do when the top level guys, minus maybe Andrade, who realistically, Andrade hasn't had a big name. He hasn't fought a big name in a minute. So, you know what I mean? I can't even hold that against Jacobs for the Andrade fight not happening, because I think Andrade's career has kind of been mismanaged a bit. Shout out to Gerald, $1 super chat, gang, shmoney gang. You know what I mean? So I can't blame, oh, Jacobs, why didn't you fight Andrade? You know what I mean? But this is what always happens. Like I said, if Errol Spence fights his mandatory Ocampo because people haven't heard of him, they're, oh, this is terrible. If he fights a guy like Ugas coming off a good win because his name is not big like a Danny Garcia, then they'll get mad at Errol Spence. It's like, oh, when is he going to step it up? But he's trying to fight Sean Porter, Danny Garcia, Keith Thurman, and you guys know that. And I'm telling you, I see the moves. I'll be studying the plays. Again, you guys can say whatever you want. Oh, you're just saying that. You're pulling the race card. But I always see the criticism with black fighters so much more. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Lucas Matisse, since he's been at welterweight, he fought Emmanuel Taylor, a guy Broner beat a couple years before Matisse, and a guy who's a 140-pounder, right? And then he fought a guy no one had ever heard of from Thailand, in Takam Karam or whatever, right? And No criticism. That's a main event on HBO in January. No criticism. But if Errol Spence fights his mandatory like Ocampo, all this criticism. If he were to fight like you guys, all this criticism and oh, it's PBC putting together bad management, or like I said, Danny Jacobs, him fighting Soul Kick gets all this criticism, but Golden Boy puts together Lucas Matisse versus Karam, and that's gravy. Lucas Matisse versus oh boy, Emmanuel Taylor. I mean, it's easy. You got to study the moves. Yes, to everybody who keeps asking me, I did see Andre Ward. I went to the Black Panther movie when I got out. I seen it. A million people inboxed me. I seen Andre Ward's post. Yes, I did. He's at Legends Boxing Gym. He's in Southern California. Dimitri Bivol, light heavyweight champion. I think the WBA champion maybe. Trains out of there. And they took a picture. Yes, I've seen it. Yes, yes, yes. To everybody asking. He took a picture with light heavyweight. Does that mean he's coming back? I don't know. That's Dre. Maybe he wants to come back. Let me show y'all. This is what everyone's talking about. Dimitri Bivol. He was in his gym today. And he just put face to face. Hey, Dre look kind of about his size, though. And he's Russian too, just like Kovalev. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know what that's about. Shout out to Dre on his verified page. He shout out my guy, Joey Spence Jr. If y'all didn't know, Joey Spence turned pro on the Garcia Rios card, and he got a victory. Second round TKO. Got that boy out of there. Shout out to Joey Spence Jr., JS Nation. Make sure you follow him. Joey D. Spencer. Listen, whoever just said, I doubt Dre can make 175 again, you out of your mind if you don't think he can make, especially when it comes to something like weight. That dude, I'm telling you, I'm not telling you from a fan's perspective. I'm telling you from, I've been in his gym and I've watched the man train. I'd watched, it's not even just his training, it's his mind. I'm telling you, that dude can do what he puts his mind to. Like, it's not, I'm not hyping him up. I'm not just, oh, Bay Area love. I'm telling you what I've witnessed. See, I'm no hater. Like, I call it like I see. I've been in several gyms. I've seen different sparrings and stuff like that. And I give credit where credit's due. That man can do what he puts his mind to. Him saying I weigh 199 or whatever, if he wants to make 175, he can. Because see, and this is what from being around dude and seeing him, this is what I notice about Dre. He's definitely mature. Like, you know what I'm saying? You don't, like, when's the last time you seen Andre Ward do things you see Broner do? You know what I'm saying? Like, just go to Walmart, like, I'm SOG, I don't need no change. You don't see that. And at no point in his career did you see it. At one, he's been like a star or like a famous boxer since the Olympics. So his life has been under the microscope when he was at Broner's age. Do you get what I'm saying? So he's been in the spotlight in Broner's age, and you never seen that. I'm SOG, I don't need no change. He's not out here doing that, and that's never really been his thing. You know what I mean? He's never really done, from what I've seen, never really done stuff like that. So, I mean, the dude's mindset is about boxing. And what I could say is this. The decisions he arrives at, he's serious about them. And like I said, this is to the person who said, oh, he can't make 175. Trust me. If he's considering, this is speculation, but if he's considering coming back, then it's already in motion. You know what I'm saying? He's not going to let his weight go all crazy and be 215 and have to cut 80 pounds. You know what I'm saying? He's not doing that. He's not going to be doing, it's going to be plan, plot, and strategize like Tupac said. So, and the other thing is Dre is lean. Like he's like, I think he has, when I work out at least, it's actually harder for him to gain weight. Do you know what I'm saying? Like it has to be a dedicated thing. Like he has to eat to be gained. You know what I'm saying? Put in a lot of calories because he'll just shed that. He has a fat. He's a gym rat. You know what I'm saying? Hey, get Derek. Listen, shooters on deck. Police, can y'all please police the comment section, because I see people constantly complaining about certain people in the stream and they're disrupting everyone. So if you see people you guys have blocked and they come back under their 1,000th screen name like this Dario dude, just keep blocking them or just do whatever so we can just flow. But anyway, my whole thing is Andre Ward. He's meticulous. He's a perfectionist too. I'm a perfectionist too, so that's one thing I noticed about him. I even asked him that on camera one time. But yeah, so if he really planning on coming back, he's already considered it and he already knows what he has to do. And before it's announced to the public, trust me, he's already gonna be doing what's necessary to do that. Or if he's gonna fight Tony Bellew or some shit, I heard Eddie Hearn wants to make Tony Bellew fight, then he's gonna be managing his weight to be near that or to so he's packing it on safely. He's efficient in that way. So that's just my little, I guess, rant, if that's what you want to call it. Shout out to South Jersey, man. We worldwide with it. Bellew too slow for Ward. I mean, Bellew, he might get stretched by David Haye too, to be honest. If David Haye looks like Haye, because I thought that in the first fight. I mean, props to Tony Bellew. I like Tony Bellew. I mean, even in the Creed movie, I liked him. I had my doubts about what type of villain he would be and really what type of actor he would be. I never seen him act or nothing like that, and he did a good job. So I don't have nothing against Tony Bellew, but to be honest, I thought David Haye would get him the first fight, but he got injured, and that obviously had some effect in the fight, a major effect, I would say. So if David Haye's healthy, I don't know. I don't know if Bellew's going to stand up to that. But the thing is, David Haye fought the wrong fight to me. Because if you watched them early rounds, he was putting way too much. He was like clearly trying to destroy Tony Bellew. You know what I'm saying? He was like putting way too much on it to the point where it's like it wasn't fluid. And Tony Bellew was outboxing him and seeing that coming. And then he started doing better, then he got hurt. You know what I'm saying? He was like swinging with, he needed to settle in, because you're not gonna, if you're good, fundamentally pretty good, then a fighter can see that a mile away, like, you know what I mean, that you're just coming with all you got. Like, I mean, look at Floyd versus Conor McGregor. And I know that's different because it's an MMA fighter and a boxer, but Floyd knew Conor couldn't last and couldn't, you know what I mean, keep up no crazy pace or doghouse pace, stuff like that, you know what I mean? So he let him blow his wad early, and that was it. People see that shit coming. Floyd knew that Conor McGregor's MO, his mentality, his stamina wouldn't allow for him to be trying to push for a late fight. So he's gonna try to come in aggressive. So if a guy knows you're gonna come in aggressive, then they know what to do. And Haye was just swinging too crazy early. Haye don't sound very confident in his latest interview. I didn't see it. I know they did a press conference. I mean, it's not out of the question that Bellew can win again. But to put it this way, if Haye's body breaks up again, he's losing. I mean, obviously that's what happened the first time. But if he's 100% healthy and he doesn't have any mishaps, I mean, I don't really know that I would pick Tony Bellew. And again, it's not no shade to Tony Bellew, but I think Haye, if he looks like the Haye of old, like when he was at cruiserweight and shit like that, then I don't necessarily see him losing. But again, if he breaks up and age and inactivity and all that catches up, then it is what it is. Tyson Fury's losing weight. Yeah, I seen that. He was doing a UCAD drug test or something, so he's slimming down. That's good for him. He said he had an announcement coming soon. So man, yeah, man, boxing is cracking. We getting it cracking. Valdez versus Scott Quigg. I don't know. You know, I want to see the fight, but I haven't put too much thought into a prediction. And it's hard to predict because maybe before Oscar Valdez's last fight, I would probably say Oscar Valdez. But after seeing that, Scott Quigg he has power. You know what I mean? And Valdez, he showed in his last fight with that Filipino cat that he still has some things he needs to improve, especially like fighting for the crowd. So that, to me, Quigg and Valdez is 50-50. You know what I mean? They both have good power. I think Valdez has more athleticism and speed, but Scott Quigg might even have more power. And he's a pretty good boxer, stuff like that. So that's a neck and neck fight to me. Ortiz, Alexander draw, fair card. Nah, I thought Alexander beat him clearly. I want Errol Spence to fight Matisse. Matisse, I think he'll get walked down. That's a bad fight for Matisse. I mean, again, I wouldn't mind it, but I don't see that being a good fight for Matisse at all. Matisse is one of the, I think the Danny Garcia fight, see, this is people clown Danny, but it's just my personal opinion. That Danny Garcia, that took his pride. That really took his pride. Everyone, oh, his age, man, fuck that. His pride got injured, and because you have to look at the Danny Garcia fight was supposed to be the I mean, that was on the Mayweather Canelo card, and there were some fans who actually wanted to see the co-main event, Danny Garcia versus Lucas Matisse, more than the main event. You know what I'm saying? So that was a big, huge fight at the time at 140, and a lot of people were saying Matisse was the one to knock out Danny Garcia, and he got his eye lumped up and he got dropped. So I think that hurt his pride, because you look at him in his next fight and he's getting dropped by John Molina, and I think that was John Molina's first fight at 140. I mean, John Molina's pretty big, but still, he was still coming up from 35. You know what I mean? And then he got stopped by Postal later. Then he looked like trash versus Karam. So I don't think it's the same Matisse. You know what I mean? I don't. And realistic, listen, not to sound overly critical, but I don't just jump on a train or bandwagon for a fighter until they show me something. And to me, Lucas ain't really showed me nothing at 47. He hasn't showed me. What has he showed me? Danny Garcia knocking out Rios with one punch showed me more than any welterweight fight that Matisse's had. You know what I'm saying? Because you fought a guy I never even heard of before, and I had to research the Karam dude who hadn't fought really outside of Thailand, and you struggled with him. And then before that, you fought a 140-pounder that Broner knocked down and beat years before in Emmanuel Taylor, and he lost to Orozco and different people like that. So what has Matisse really even done at 147 for us to say he can even fuck with Errol Spence? Just my thoughts. And Lucas, to me, quit versus Victor Postal. Like, I don't know what happened to him internally, how he felt, but it's still, I mean, despite all of that, it's still, to me, it would fall more into the quitting category than anything else. Like, just like Kell Brook versus Errol Spence Jr., like, I'm not trying to sound harsh, but if you think about it, you would probably, if this was Blockbuster Video and they have a certain movie and it's kind of suspense, but it's kind of horror, then you have to determine, are you going to put it in the horror section or are you going to put it in the suspense section? So when it comes to Matisse getting stopped by Postal, I would have to put it in I think it fits in the quit, in the files of somebody quitting. You know what I mean? Like, he didn't want to chance it, which is his option, but you're going to have that in the back of his hand. So if Errol starts digging to them guts, then he's going to have that. He already has a built-in kind of way out. Do you know what I'm saying? Errol Spence versus Ray Robinson, not interested. If anything, I think he should fight the Cuban, you guys. Ray Robinson just got stopped. That's his third loss. He lost to Sean Porter. He just got stopped last Saturday. So I don't really want to see that. Regis Prograis versus Adrian Broner. That's a good fight. You got to get past Julius Ndongo. But like I said, I'm not doing no Broner predictions on my channel. It's just, I don't know what Broner is going to show up. So it is what it is. Keith versus Peterson. Nah, I don't see that. He just got stopped in January. I don't think he's trying to fight Keith Thurman right away. Spence versus Omar Figueroa. Yeah, I mean, I seen Omar Figueroa was talking that he beat him in the amateurs, and it'd be a good Texas thing because they're both from different parts of Texas. Fuck it, let's see it. If he can't get no work, that's an exciting. Put that in Texas. That'd be exciting, to be honest. Oh, but Omar, yeah, that can't happen next because he has to fight Broner. Am I disappointed in Eubank Jr.? Nah, I'm not disappointed because he fought valiantly. He just didn't fight smart and he didn't fight to win. You know what I'm saying? He didn't do what he needed to do to win. Let's see if we can get the likes up. We have over 200 people in here and the likes kind of just plateaued. So if you're in the stream, you're just rocking with it. I'm actually going to get off the live stream soon. I'm just going to answer some last little questions. Just wanted to tap in with y'all. Talk this good old boxing talk. Just to recap, Keith Thurman having 2 mandatories, not a fan of that from the WBC. I think it just, you know, I really feel Errol Spence, I feel bad for him. I really do. And again, I'll explain it. I feel bad for Errol Spence because he's in a precarious position right now where until he looks vulnerable, if he does look vulnerable, then he's not gonna have people lining up to fight. It's always what happens in boxing. When a motherfucker looks sensational, it's just like everybody's silent. And as soon as, you know what I'm saying? It's just, that's kind of what haters do. You know what I mean? I did it. I was on my prediction streak. I got like 7, 8 big fight, hard to predict fights, some of them. I got like 7, 8 of them right in a row consecutively. And then I picked Danny Garcia to beat Keith Thurman via decision. And the second I get one fight prediction wrong, motherfuckers come all out the woodwork. Aha, close down your channel. You don't know shit. You suck. You pick Danny. Ha ha ha. You stink. Fuck you. Funky butt loving. All this shit. You know what I mean? So that's what haters do. They broadcast your failures, but they don't say shit about your successes. And that's what I feel like in the situation with Errol Spence Jr. And I feel like people are gonna do what people are gonna do is, again, he's gonna fight the people he has to fight because nobody else is trying to fight him right now, or they got to get it together, or there's bigger money fighting each other, or whatever the reason is. And then he's gonna be fighting Ocampos and Konstantin Ponomarov, or maybe Omar Figueroa, maybe, and you know what I'm saying? And then people are gonna have a million excuses, like, oh, I can't give him credit for that win, even though Ocampo is the IBF's mandatory. I can't give him credit for, you know what I'm saying? So he's gonna be in that position, and this is what they do. They know people don't want to fight him, so I feel bad because they know, but they'll still hold that against you. You see what I'm saying? They'll still hold it against you. Like, oh, his resume, because look what they did to, man, this shit is so rigged. Look at the fans, how they act with Deontay Wilder. You know for a fact, by at least November of 2018, November 2017, his resume would have been, listen, let's play a game right now. If y'all don't, and we could do a hot seat right now before I get off, California Republic, California Love Part 2. California Love Part motherfucker 2 without gay ass Drake. Like, we could go right now. If someone disagrees, let's have at it. I'm gonna say this and then y'all tell me what you feel. If Deontay Wilder in November of last year, if he didn't have opponents who failed drug tests, who temporarily failed drug tests, then his resume would currently as of right now would currently be rivaling Anthony Joshua's resume. let me rephrase that, or not rephrase it. Let me repeat it. What I'm saying is, if Deontay Wilder had every fight he had signed up for actually go through, and people didn't fail drug tests for whatever reason, and he got past those fights, his resume right now would rival Anthony Joshua's. And if you don't agree with me, let's do a hot seat and we can settle it right now. Once again, if everybody who was supposed to signed up to fight Deontay Wilder, if he actually fought them when he was supposed to fight them as of last November, his current resume would rival Anthony Joshua's, where you can make a strong case that he has a better resume than Joshua. We'll do a hot seat right now. Who's Ronald? Ronald McDonald want to work? All right, Ronald, you in a hot seat? Do you disagree, Ronald? That's all I need to know. Because if you say you disagree, then you're in a hot seat. Let's do it. Okay, so you don't disagree. No, I get that, Phil. Phil said he would have to win them. I'm talking about under the pretense if he fought them and beat them, obviously. All right, Bryce in the hot seat. Bryce James, we got one. See, this is all I have to do. And then I reel y'all in. Okay, so what do you disagree with? Explain how you disagree. Like, explain your side, and then I'll explain mine. We got a hot seat. Everybody grab your popcorn. I told you I'm the king of Wakanda. We'll see. Come on, Bryce. Bryce James. So basically what you're arguing is that Anthony Joshua's resume would be still way better than Deontay Wilder's. Bro, you're wasting everyone's time. He said, I think Wilder's resume would be better than Joshua. That's my whole point. So you basically copped a plea, because that's my whole point that I've been making. And then you tried to act like you disagreed with me because you said I disagree. And then now you're saying that you're on the same side as me. So he copped a plea. We don't really have a hot seat. False alarm. Anyway, see, nobody's trying to get this hot seat. Nobody wants this hot seat work. No, you said it would rival Joshua's resume. I'm saying it would be better. Bro, you're still arguing on the same side. I'm saying it would, at the very least, rival it. Could be better, but it would at the very least rival it. You know what I'm saying? You're playing on words. That's still the same argument that I'm making. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, enough of that. We're not giving them more fake attention. So I guess we don't have a hot seat and another false alarm. But again, this is what I'm talking about. This is the fucked up part about boxing. Yo, my mom says she would love to be in your hot seat. She's a creep. Wow, Ma Dukes. See, she a fan of the ego. No, I'm just playing. Kinda. How old is your mama? No, I'm just playing. Kinda. Yeah, anyway, I honestly feel that, but this is what fans don't take into consideration. They just say, oh, bum squat, and you know the deal. You know why his resume lacks 2 significant names to this date. You know what I mean? And he could have fought the other guy, but I wasn't tripping when the Polish fighter failed a drug test, because the Gerald Washington was a good replacement fight. You know what I'm saying? So basically, one last time, do we have any hot seats? Do we have anybody who disagrees with what nah, because they don't want this work. They would have already said it. So if Wilder got the fights that he signed up for and people didn't fail drug tests, he would have Povetkin on his resume and Luis Ortiz. Now, obviously, he would have to beat them, but hypothetically, let's assume that he stays champion and he beat them. Then that means he would have had Alexander Povetkin, an Olympic gold medalist. He would have Luis Ortiz, a decorated amateur Cuban background. He would have Gerald Washington when he was undefeated, right? He would have Bermane Stiverne at least one time when Stiverne was a champion, right? So you could honestly say his resume would be, again, at least rival Joshua's resume. You know what I'm saying? Because Joshua has one big name. All right, Robbie D, step in the hot seat. Listen, I see. Listen, we don't do the coward stuff here. Robbie D talking about hashtag kind of and smiling. But when I asked if you wanted to be in the hot seat, why didn't you take the hot seat? You know what I'm saying? If you disagree, why didn't you take the hot seat? You talking about kind of. I don't think it's kind of. So Robbie D, do you want to be in the hot seat? We can battle this, Mr. Kind of. Since you think kind of, and you think Joshua's resume is kind of shitting on Wilder if he got the fights. Oh my gosh. Chad, do you accept the hot? Somebody take the hot seat. I don't get it. Why won't y'all just take the hot seat? We got Chad Breath. He says not so close. AJ got a gold medal. What are you talking about? You're talking about some amateur shit. We talking about pro. See, y'all want to argue so bad and debate and disagree so bad. You guys aren't even on the same argument. You talking about AJ got a gold medal. Nobody was even talking about their amateur pedigree. You said not so close. AJ got a gold medal. We're talking about pro resumes. And Wilder does have a bronze medal, yes. Oh man, you guys want to disagree so bad. You're not even making up your own arguments and counterpoints that nobody's even arguing. And truth be told, Joshua getting the gold medal, if you really watch that fight, there's a lot of spectators that thought he lost that fight. See, and that's just a tip. See, some of y'all try to fuck with me when it comes to this boxing shit, but y'all got to know your boxing. You know what I'm saying? Some of y'all really, oh yeah, but you know, like the outlining fact, yes, Joshua has a gold medal, but go watch that fight. Some people thought Joshua lost that fight and the other dude got robbed. So, you know what I'm saying? That's some politics, we'll say. Shout out to the in Texas 214, $2 super chat. Gang. Shout out to you. So, like I said, Wilder's resume the point being is Wilder's resume would be solid if he in fact got the fights that he was signed up to fight and it happened when they were supposed to happen. Because he would have fought Luis Ortiz in November, and if he would have got past him and got past Povetkin, then, I mean, that would be two more names on top of Bermane Stavern, top of Gerald Washington, on top of Johan Duhaupas when he was undefeated, beat Robert Helenas, a guy Gerald Big Baby Miller is currently fighting, right? And Eddie Hearn, promoter of both, is saying, hey, if Miller looks good versus Johan Duhaupas, right, then he might get AJ. So you tell me. Furious Styles, that's corny as hell. He says, I don't disagree, but I'll take the hot seat. I don't deal with begging men, desperate men. You don't disagree, but you'll take the hot seat. That sounds suspect. Hey, we agree, and there's nothing I disagree with, but put me in the hot seat. That's not what this is about, and that's not what this is intended for. Listen, someone just said Klitschko versus Wilder. I promise you, if it happened under the same circumstances, I would pick Wilder. If Klitschko was coming off a Tyson Fury loss, a year-plus layoff, and he got embarrassed by Tyson Fury, I would pick Wilder under those same circumstances. Now, if it was Klitschko sometime in his 10-year reign, maybe. But I still think Wilder has, at any point, had a good chance to beat Klitschko. Klitschko doesn't really have the greatest chin either. And Klitschko, his best work and his best in the last 10 years or so, 9 years or whatever, that run he had, it's all been guys who are inches shorter than him. You know what I'm saying? Like the best names, if you look at Klitschko in his last 9 years, the best names he's fought, he's been massively taller than those guys. Right? Bryant Jennings. I'm taller than Bryant Jennings. You know what I mean? That's my dude. Shout out to Bye Bye. But Bryant Jennings, Alexander Povetkin, right? Alex Lepai, Kubrat Pulev. You know what I mean? Those guys are at best probably like 6'4". Klitschko's 6'6". So he was able to establish his long ass arms, establish jabs, clinch because they were smaller and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So I think Klitschko, his kryptonite will always be guys who are his size or bigger. You know what I mean? And then when you add the athleticism and awkwardness and power of a Wilder, yeah, I think Wilder could have beat him. You know what I mean? Because Tyson Fury just simply outboxed him. And see, if you look at he did good versus Joshua, but Joshua's not, he don't fight like Wilder. And Wilder's an inch taller. So, I mean, I think Wilder always had a shot versus Klitschko, but definitely coming off the Tyson Fury loss and the long layoff, because that's where he lost everything. He lost all his belts and all that. Anyway, to wrap this all up, what I'm saying, guys like Errol Spence, guys like Deontay Wilder, the fans, they know what's up, and they know the reason. Like the real boxing fans, they've studied the chronological order and they know the details, but they still won't give him credit knowing that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying you can give Wilder credit for fights he didn't fight, in terms of, you can't say, oh, guy failed drug test, so he gets credit for beating Ortiz, or he gets credit for beating Povetkin, but you know it wasn't his bad for the fight not happening, and you know it was supposed to happen, and that would have given him a substantially better resume, and you guys know that. Same thing with Errol Spence. If Errol Spence, if he doesn't get a big name this year and he's fighting guys who are solid like you guys, Ocampo, his mandatory, then y'all got to deal with it. Don't blame Errol Spence. You know what I mean? Don't blame him and act like he's the one not pushing for big fights, because you know that's not true. You know what I mean? And that's the disrespectful, and that's the frustrating part, is these guys know what it is. They know, like even Terrence Crawford, Bob Arum Ben said, I want to see Terrence Crawford and Manny Pacquiao. He said that. Arum himself has pushed and said he wanted to make the fight. Team Pacquiao pushed against it. They pushed the idea away. You know what I mean? And people, if you have a gripe about Terrence Crawford's resume, then why weren't you like Team Crawford, who already said they would take the Pacquiao fight, like Bob Arum, who promotes both and says he wanted to make the fight? Then why aren't you mad that Pacquiao and his team did not take the fight? And I'm not talking about after the Jeff Horn, because now you have a built-in excuse. Oh, he lost to Jeff Horn. Why should he fight a dangerous fight with Crawford? He needs a tune-up. Now you could say that. But this was when Crawford was fighting Thierry Jean. He's fought a couple people since then. You know what I'm saying? And their names were intertwined. HBO, watch the Thierry Jean post-fight, when he was like, did you get what you was looking for? Max Kellerman asked him about Pacquiao at that particular one. So this had been going on, and Pacquiao's team kept making excuses why they shouldn't fight. Why they should, oh, it's not going to sell, and we need some tune-ups, and oh, he has to come up to 47, he wants to be at 40. You know what I mean? Just excuses. Freddie Roach said he wouldn't let Pacquiao fight Bud. He said Pacquiao couldn't win. Wow. See, that's what I'm saying. But then once again, Terrence Crawford gets blamed because you say he has a lack of even though his resume is not as bad as people make. You know what I'm saying? He has solid names on his resume. But a great name to have on your resume is Manny Pacquiao. But they gave it to the Australian, Jeff Horn. Crikey, mate. You know what I'm saying? They let Jeff Horn be the one that beat Terrence Crawford. And see, this is because Freddie Roach and Team Pacquiao, Team right? They probably liked their chances better with Jeff Horn. Even though he pulled the upset, they thought he would beat him. You know what I mean? Who didn't? Jeff Horn had like 15, 16 fights, no real notable names outside of a 40-year-old Randall Bailey. See, they weren't trying to chance it with Terrence Crawford because they knew no matter what, that's a difficult fight. But they liked their chances even though they got upset. So that was an instance of a cherry pick gone wrong, which we've seen. You know what I mean? Like James DeGale fighting Caleb Truex. Okay, Caleb Truex, that wasn't the best guy at 168. You could have fought Gilberto Ramirez, Chris Eubank Jr., Caleb Plant, but you fought a guy that had been stopped a couple of times by Anthony Durrell, stopped by Danny Jacobs at 160 in his last couple of, last 5 fights or so, and then it backfired on you. Ego, you know you're supposed to accept double standards and not call out this BS. It's a new day, my friend. We're not accepting anything. New media, gang, gang, ego army, ego mafia. We are the mob, money on top of boxing. Let's get it. You know what I'm saying? So it's disrespectful what they do. Again, I'm gonna keep pushing this. I'm gonna keep saying it. Oftentimes with black fighters, that's what I've seen it that happen the most and stuff. Oh, you want to blame Errol Spence, you want to blame Deontay Wilder, but you're not blaming the culprits who are allowing for this to continue. If you like, example, if you have a problem with so and so's resume, but you're making excuses why the best in the division should never fight that person, stupid. Then you don't really have a problem with their resume. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's like, let's say I owned a restaurant and I'm the manager or whatever, I own it. Somebody comes and they're like, hey, we enjoy eating here, but your bathrooms are disgusting. They need to be cleaned. Would you stop me from sending an associate in there immediately to clean the bathroom and then block the door and be like, no, you can't get in the bathroom. I don't want it clean. It's too late. You wouldn't do that. You would just be happy and you would admire the fact that I promptly sent somebody, a janitor or somebody, to clean up the bathroom. You know what I'm saying? So if people were really, if boxing fans were really about what they say they're about, you know what I mean? Oh, Terrence Crawford, he needs a big name. Then you wouldn't be cock blocking big name fights from happening and making excuses why Pacquiao don't have to fight him, right? If you really and truly didn't like Jermall Charlo's resume, or say, oh, he ain't fought no one at 160, then why are you making excuses why Canelo or Triple G should never give him a fight? Don't deserve to give him a fight. He hasn't earned it. If you really and truly thought Deontay Wilder had a bum-ass resume and he didn't deserve this and that, then why don't you want to see Anthony Joshua? If you really and truly thought Errol Spence Jr. had a horrible resume, then why don't you want to see Danny Garcia fight him, Sean Porter, or Keith Thurman? This shit is too easy. This one, I'm trying to tell y'all, this is why new media is on top. Because no matter how hard they try, the detractors and all the old media and stuff, they can't break it down like this. Bro, you got to stop with these comparisons. You killed that one. I'm just a real person. And like I said, using that restaurant example, if the bathrooms were dirty, you wouldn't, and you complained about it, then that's because you wanted to see an improvement. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to prevent my associates that I sent to clean up and do what you said you wanted. You know what I mean? You wouldn't prevent them from doing their job. It's too late. Don't clean the bathroom now. You would just be like happy that someone is doing that. If someone messed up your food order and they're willing to comp you, give you the meal for free and remake it, what's the problem? You know what I mean? Same thing with these fighters. If you really think Jermall Charlo has a shitty resume and he's calling out Canelo, he's calling out Triple G, the WBC is giving him these eliminators where if he wins, he'll be the #1 mandatory, then why are you making all these excuses why Triple G should never fight him? Oh, wait. It's that simple. So that's my request to real boxing fans around the world. Be what you say you are. Be about what you say you're about. You know what I'm saying? If you always, you know what I mean? See, a lot of y'all motherfuckers be rah-rah with Oscar De La Hoya's like, hey, Floyd, leave boxing. We want the best versus the best. You know what I'm saying? Saying shit like that. And y'all be like, yeah, Oscar, tell them. We want best versus best. You don't want the best versus best because when it's right in front of your face, then you make an excuse why that fight shouldn't happen. Oh, well, come on, man. Errol Spence, he shouldn't get that fight. He can't sell. Look at his nipples. Like, what? Y'all be all over the place, man. Hey, shooter, eliminate Billy. Eliminate Billy, because too many fans are complaining about him. So that's how we know he's a disruption. Billy Freeman or something. Just get him out of here. Show him how it's done. Thank you. Shout out to Portia. Hey, Chad Breath. First of all, your name is suspect. Number 2, you sound stupid because, see, this is what you guys do. I'm not going to let the media twist up my words or the fans twist up my words into some shit I didn't say. I didn't say Wilder's resume is definitively better than Anthony Joshua's. It's not what I said. But what I did say is had Wilder been given the opportunities for the fights he signed up without motherfuckers failing drug tests, then the resumes would definitely be comparable if he were to have those victories and have those fights. Oh, he's trying to get smart. He says, say it right. It's Chad Breathe. That sounds even worse. Chad Breath sounds terrible, but Chad Breathe sounds horrible. Like you in an ambulance or something. Chad Breathe. Like you trying to, and see, keep fucking with me. They're really gonna have to resuscitate you in this hot seat. So anyway, that's that. He don't want this hot seat work. But y'all be trying to argue shit that I never even said. I never said whose resume. I'm talking about if Wilder would have been given the opportunities to fight the people he was signed up to fight, and then if he got past them. That's what I said. Y'all just say like stuff that I'm not even saying. I'm like, man, pancakes are delicious. French toast is not that good. Like, I didn't say shit about French toast. I said pancake. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all, it's like Mars said, it's not registering. If I say pancakes is good and you disagree, then argue about that. But don't tell me about French toast or some other shit. Nobody likes English muffins. Didn't say shit about English muffins. AKA, keep up. It's not that hard. It's just boxing. It's just boxing. But yeah, like I said, just be about what you say you're about. Period. Yo, yeah, the fucking best need to fight the best. Yeah, when it's on your watch, you know what I'm saying? When it's part of your agenda. But when Rigondeaux was trying to fight motherfuckers closer to 122, from Leo Santa Cruz to Carl Frampton, Scott Quigg, and all these other motherfuckers, Nonito Donaire rematch, then all of a sudden, it don't matter about the best versus best. Now it matters that he's too boring, or he can't sell out his mother's basement in Cuba, and all this bullshit. You feel me? So when Rigondeaux, when he want to fight the best, and he's calling out the best, and they're clearly not trying to see him, you know what I'm saying? And everybody should be embarrassed. They let a motherfucker 2 divisions higher than Rigondeaux beat Rigondeaux. You know what I mean? Because nobody a division up or at 122 probably would have did it. You know what I mean? So it took someone 2 divisions higher, right? It took someone 2 divisions higher, like Lomachenko, with 2 gold medals to beat the motherfuckers. Now everyone can like hee and laugh and all that shit, but where was y'all at when Rigondeaux was calling out the best? And those would have been, man, I would have picked Rigondeaux to beat all them dudes. And y'all let them get out the back door, fight each other. Leo Santa Cruz and Abner Matas fighting each other a second time and stuff. And now it's just, oh, Rigondeaux, haha, he quit. And I mean, shit. If that happened to you know what I'm saying? That would happen to a lot more people if they jump up 2 weight classes. So at least Rigondeaux had, like, he quit, which is, you know what I mean, taboo in boxing, but he also had the balls to even take the fight for shit money and fight in Olympic gold medals and risk it all. You know what I mean? So you got to give him credit. That's like if I'm at a club and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna go holler at this, she's the prettiest girl in the room, I'm gonna holler at her, you know what I mean? And I go up to her and I get rejected. I mean, cool, I got rejected. It happens. You know what I mean? She doesn't give me the number, but at least I had the balls to do it. You know what I'm saying? At least I had the balls to go up to her, try to spark up a conversation and shoot my shot. You know what I mean? So Rigondeaux, people laughing now, but at least he had the balls to do it. If these other fighters had the balls to not even jump 2 weight classes, just fight motherfuckers in their division, then boxing would be a great place. Shout out to John Doe. Comment of the moment. They strategically screwed him. I love how you put that. That's exactly what they did with Rigondeaux. And then on top of that, whoever he had the belt with at 22 stripped him. So he's fucked. No longer a champion in your division, right? You got beat up in 2 divisions higher. Like, I mean, it is what it is. But this is the dark side of boxing that they don't tell y'all about. But like I said, put Chocolatito. Let's say Lomachenko didn't fight Rigondeaux when Rigondeaux was undefeated, right? Put Chocolatito, move him from 115 or whatever to 122 to face Rigondeaux and see what happened to Chocolatito. If your eyes were lumped up versus Carlos Cuadras and you got knocked out by Sor Rungvisai, a guy who was a Muay Thai fighter before he was even boxing, then good luck with Rigondeaux at that higher weight where he's at least a little bit bigger and more natural at 122. You know what I mean? But they didn't push Chocolatito to go up and fight Rigondeaux, right? So, man, that's what I'm saying. Everyone wants to clown. Oh, Rigondeaux, he quit. Tell Canelo to move up to 168. See how he does. Tell Golovkin, why didn't he go up and fight Andre Ward? That was one division. One division. And then we'll see who else is quitting and who else prevails and all that shit. Triple G, and the worst part about it, just the double standard. I'm not making this up. Abel Sanchez said that Golovkin could beat Ward at 175, beat Kovalev at 175, beat Adonis Stevenson at 175. He said he could beat anyone from 154 to 168. But you notice a lot of these fighters that get promoted by HBO and ESPN or certain media guys or whatever, they never have to prove their claim. They never have to prove what is being told to you. It's just like, it's like a tall tale. Like, there's no fact checking. There's no, like, nobody that tries to pull your card. It's just, it's acceptable if they do. It's acceptable if they don't. It's really acceptable if they don't. That is crazy. You know what I'm saying? How you gonna say he can beat Ward and all these people at 175, but you don't want to fight him at 168? That doesn't even make sense to me. And fans don't even check that. They don't even like, yo, wait, Abel, you said this, or wait, Tom Loeffler, or whoever, or wait, ESPN, you said this. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy, and it's borderline pathetic. I'm just, like I said, I'm Frank Castle, so if I gotta wear the skull on my shirt and just be the Punisher out this bitch, then that's what it's gonna be. But y'all gotta get it together, man. 2018, we not playing. Ego Army looking like Wakanda out this bitch. We just getting stronger. I told you, Bebe's kids, we don't die, we multiply. Like, it's getting real out here, and we not falling for it. We're not falling for it anymore. You could beat anyone from 154 to 168, but you only want to fight Chavez Jr. or Carl Froch at 68. So you can fight a guy that Andre Ward beat with one hand, but you can't fight the guy that beat him. Okay. Okay. And like I said, the fans don't check it. They, oh, leave Golovkin alone. He wants to unify. Listen, I told you, the worst thing you could do to these casuals is use their own argument against you. They said, why should Ward needs to pick on someone his own size, move up to 75, and fight Kovalev, which he did twice, and he beat him twice, right? They said, stop picking on Golovkin. He wants to stay in his division and unify. Fine, okay, I'll use that rhetoric. I'll use that. Even though he wanted to fight Carl Froch, and they said, hey, we respect Carl Froch. We'll fight him at the full 168 because we want to respect him as a champion or whatever. They were willing to fight big-ass Chavez Jr., who fight night might be 205 or some shit, like he was versus Sergio Martinez. Fine. We'll excuse all of that, right? We'll excuse all of that. I'll use your logic, and this is how you do. This is how you kill. If y'all want to learn how to kill a casual in very few steps, can I get a hell yeah? If y'all want to learn how to kill a casual, can I get a hell yeah in the comment section? All you got to do is put hell yeah. I'm going to show you how to kill a casual, man. Ego Valley style. I'm going to show you how to... Hold on, let me stretch. I'm going to show you how to kill a casual. Okay. Fine. Even though it don't make sense, you want to fight Carl Froch, a guy Andre Ward beat. You want to fight big-ass Chavez Jr. at 168, but you don't want to fight Andre Ward at 168. You want to catch weight at 164 and or no fight. Fine. I'll forgive that. I'll act like none of that happened. But guess what? They said, oh, Triple G, he just wants to stay at 160 and unify. But guess what? He had the opportunity multiple times now to unify with Billy Joe Saunders. And guess what? He passed that. But Billy Joe Saunders got some stones about him. He's like, fuck this. People call me Billy Ho. And you know what I mean? He started having wins over Willie Monroe and David Lemieux. So he started aggressively calling out Triple G and saying, I got my pin. I got me pinned, right? So if you wanted to unify so bad, especially after the Danny Jacobs fight, tough fight for you, Billy Joe Saunders was on your helmet and he was calling for the fight and saying, hey, and you were actually in negotiations with Frank Warren. Guess what? They decided to wait it out and listen to Golden Boy's threats. They said, hey, we need time to promote this. If you fight Billy Joe Saunders, that's a wrap on the Canelo fight. You're not getting Canelo next, right? And they took the money fight. So all that shit that the fans were saying doesn't add up. Oh, he doesn't need to fight Ward at 168. He wants to stay and unify. If you want to stay and unify, stay and unify. Why, if that's your lifehood or childhood dream, is to unify a division and chase Bernard, all this legacy shit y'all was talking about, right? Then why'd you pass up an opportunity? You still aren't undisputed. And you might not be undisputed if Canelo beats you, because then you won't have no belts. Except for maybe the WBC, because Canelo said, I was born, I'm not taking that belt. You know what I'm saying? But why would you, if your childhood dreams or whatever was to unify middleweight division, it's a legacy division and all that, you had the opportunity after Jacobs fight and even before that. You know what I'm saying? So once again, more evidence of fans saying some bullshit that 6 months later, 4 months later, whatever it is, it proves not to be the case. It shows that's not, oh, he shouldn't go up to 168 to fight Dre. Why should he fight Andre Ward? He wants to unify the division. Okay, unify. Billy Joe Saunders is the only guy with the belt. But nope, you took a money fight and damn near got fucked over in there with that Adelaide Bird shit. Huh? Man, Frank Castle killing you boys. Frank Castle killing you boys. You know how Biggie used to call himself Frank White, King of New York? I'm Frank Castle, man. The Punisher. I'm the judge, jury, and executioner. So, I mean, be real. And like I said, and Golovkin's playing a dangerous game. Canelo is real good on them scorecards. You know what I'm saying? So if Canelo just sharpens up and beats you, now you won't be undisputed because you're going to have to recollect every single belt, and you're 35. You're 35. And about to be 36 by the time you fight Canelo. Come on, man. Stop playing with me. Hey, see, listen, who's Ronald? Ronald want that work? So, who is Ronald? Ronald, show your face. Someone said Ronald said that Ward wasn't a big enough draw for Triple G. Ronald, please show your face. I got a hot seat with your name on it. It just says Ronald McDonald. We waiting for you. Please show your face. Ronald McDonald. Show your face. Okay, he said, what's happening? Okay, so is it true you said Andre Ward wasn't a big enough name for Triple G to fight? We got that hot seat waiting for you. It's already revved up. It's already queued up. You know how you preheat the oven? You got a DiGiorno pizza or something? You preheat the oven to 425? That's what I've done for you. All you have to do is let me know. Did you say that Andre Ward wasn't a big enough name for Triple G to have fought back then? Okay, now you know you done fucked up. You know you done fucked up, right? You said that SOG wasn't a big enough name for Triple G. You know you done fucked up. You done fucked up. Now I gotta get you. Listen, I'm telling y'all how to kill casuals. He says, I said that's what his team thought. So if you mention that, then that means you riding with it. We gonna dust you off DiGiorno style. It's not delivery. We're gonna turn you into a DiGiorno. That's the biggest fallacy and piece of shit, like, lie. Because the simple fact is Adama. Who the fuck is Adama? Adama looked like an extra from the Black Panther movie. Stop playing with me. So Adama his Wakanda ass, Wakandan or whatever, he's good enough. He's a big draw. So that's big enough for a Triple G. But Dre ain't. Who is Adama? Like, just please tell me. Please tell me. Adama is a vibranium distributor. Like, who the fuck is Adama, man? Stop playing with me. You mustn't give up the vibranium. It does smell like shit, doesn't it? Who the fuck is Adama? Fans is roasting you. Dominic Wade. That's what I'm saying. So Dominic Wade was he's the money fight, right? No. Now you switching it. Triple G would have won anyway. No, we're not talking. See, don't switch off the tracks now. Adama sold vibranium to Claw, and you talking about Dre ain't known enough. Okay, put it this way. Why does HBO, definitely a network that shows bias, why do they have Andre Ward doing commentary? Why was Andre Ward in Creed? I ain't never seen Adama in no Hollywood movie. I never seen him doing commentary with HBO or Sky Sports like Dre, or ESPN like Dre. Do you know what I'm saying? But Adama, like, you know what I'm saying? That's because he was too busy selling vibranium. We must hide the vibranium from Killmonger. Get to the reactor. So once again, you lying. And Dre has, like, his fights with Edwin Rodriguez and shit had over 1 million. Name when Adama did over 1 million viewership. See how they try to switch? They try to switch their argument. Oh, Triple G would have beat him anyway. We're not talking about fight predictions. We're talking about who's the bigger name. Plus, I don't think Triple G would have beat Dre. So that's definitely a matter of opinion. I think Triple G would have got chopped up by Dre at 168. You getting destroyed, boy. Rono, where you at? We're just gonna call you Ron. Okay, listen, you're lying. Now you're saying Triple G is a bigger name than Ward. That's not the argument. The argument is he wasn't a big enough name as an opponent for Triple G. But Willie Monroe was, huh? Willie Monroe Jr. was a big enough name for Triple G to get that fight. And see, unlike Dominic Wade, who was a mandatory, Willie Monroe wasn't. So how did the Willie Monroe fight come about? You casuals is getting bodied, man. In boxing, it matters who's more popular. Okay, so explain how a non-mandatory in Willie Monroe Jr. coming off of a split decision win over a guy who James Kirkland stopped at 154, I think, Brian Vera, explained to me how he was elected to fight Golovkin on HBO, but Dre wasn't a big enough name. And as you said, it's all about who's more popular. Please explain that. Explain Adama, vibranium selling ass. Explain Dominic Wade, right? Explain Willie Monroe. No. See, you backing off the blocks now. Just admit defeat. He says it was a stay busy fight. Why didn't he stay busy with Andre Ward? You know what I'm saying? So you said that it's a popularity contest. So how did them other fights get made? Cause Ward is broke. Hey, get him out of here. Shooter. First one to get him out of here. Everybody celebrate him because he's toast. He's toast. First shooter to get Ronald out of here. Everybody needs to clap for him. Thank you. Get him out of here. The dude said because Ward is broke. Now we know you lost. Because this don't even have nothing to do with life anymore. Because Andre Ward is broke. Okay. Now, like, again, pocket watching, talking about another man's money. Just cornball stuff, really. Andre Ward's broke. Hey, you know, the internet ain't shit. I'm going to tell y'all why. Internet ain't shit. Motherfuckers be talking about, oh, Ward's broke. I promise you. I've seen Ward's vehicles in the gym when I've been at the gym and stuff. I promise you Ward got more money than you. You know what I'm saying? So it's like this shit it'd be so crazy how fans just critique Ward broke as fuck, but he got more money in the bank than you. His Creed residuals are probably more than you make at Jack in the Box. You know what I'm saying? So please stop that. Crazy. It's crazy what fans do, especially in that hot seat. But man, y'all know, man. Y'all know what it is. Damn, that dude was a serious fanboy. They all get it the same, man. See, this is why they can't. I'm telling you, this is why they can't. I'm not even trying to gloat like that, but this is why they can't fuck with no new media. This is exactly why, because the stuff doesn't make sense. And y'all be saying, oh, that's because you don't have a call in. You can't beat me call in or any style with that weak ass argument. You know what I'm saying? Even if you called in, you would just be screaming some stupid shit. Ward's broke, ha ha ha. Then you would get hung up on, and then everyone heard that you said some stupid shit. You know what I mean? So a call-in ain't gonna save you. What are y'all really talking about? New media. I told you I'm the king of Wakanda. That y'all can't beat me y'all can't beat me with these weak ass arguments. It's facts. You know what I'm saying? But see, this would, man, boxing game is so corrupt if you really think about it. Because Errol Spence, like for me, I think he's doing a lot of the right things that I like as a boxing fan. You know what I mean? Just my personal opinion. Calling out big names, willing to fight veterans like Lamont Peterson, travel to Kell Brook's backyard, beat him in his backyard. You know what I mean? So I like that. I like all of that stuff. You know what I mean? Trains, stays in shape, putting on, not even really talking too much, but putting on the great performances or whatever. And if I say that, I like how Errol Spence is moving right now, guess what they say? Oh, you love truth. You sucking that Errol dick. You know what I mean? Always got to be some old extra stuff. But listen to the great lengths that they go to protect the fighters that they really and truly like or whatever. Like, again, like the Triple G. The dude's probably a desperate Triple G fan. It's no problem if you like Triple G. I have no problem with that. But you're coming from a place of desperation because you're not even making sense. You know what I mean? But if I like what Errol Spence is doing, then I'm gay and I belong in the Castro district and dick riding and all that stuff. But you doing all of that and filling it with lies. Oh, Andre Ward's broke and all this stuff. That's not man fan. Okay. Shout out to Arbad8, $5 super chat. See, we just get, the haters hate, but we just get this money. Super chat. A lot of new stuff coming soon. I promise you that. Stay tuned. Don't touch the dial. Frank Castle, the Punisher. I love these live streams, man, because what the casuals try to get away with on some regular videos, on regular shit, they can't get away with it on the live stream. And y'all know that. Shout out to my shooters. Shout out to the engagement. We got some good likes and we had a good live stream. So I'm about to get up out of here. Don't forget, Triple G fought Daniel Gill and Marco Antonio Rubio back to back. That's what I'm saying. It's all, listen, it's all cop-outs from the fans. It's all cop-outs because, again, Ward's not a big name, but an Australian guy like Daniel Gill, who's not even really known in America, he's the perfect name for Golovkin. You know what I mean? Charlo doesn't deserve Golovkin. See, like, listen, they're trapped either way. A couple years ago, they wanted fights at 168 with Carl Froch and Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. at 168, fact. You can research it. But they didn't want to work with Andre Ward at 168, fact. You can research it, right? People said, oh, it's because they want to be undisputed. They want all the belts. Okay, fine. But you had the opportunity at all the belts or the final belt versus Billy Joe Saunders, and you waited on Canelo to make his decision, and you went for the money fight. So that was proven to be false. Another falsehood would be this. Okay, cool. You didn't want to climb up to 168. No one can make you move up, even though your team said you could beat anyone from 154 to 168. You could even beat guys at 175. We'll just act like none of that happened. And then Jermall Charlo, he's one fight away from being, again, the #1 contender for Golovkin's WBC belt, and you hear excuses for why he doesn't deserve the fight. So Andre Ward's broke. He's in another division. He's inactive Ward. So all these reasons why Ward doesn't deserve the fight, or why Triple G shouldn't be made to move up to fight Ward. But then you got a guy in your division like Jamal Charlo, and Abel Sanchez did an interview with Dante's Boxing Nation, and what he said was, "Oh, he was being disrespectful, so I'm gonna make him wait forever." So if someone's being disrespectful, what about Curtis Stevens? He had the Golovkin name on a casket, on a coffin. That's disrespectful. He got the fight. Why did he get the fight? He wasn't a mandatory. You know what I'm saying? Canelo's talking about, we're not going to need the judges. I was born ready, and I'm going to knock you out. That's probably classified as disrespectful. And guess what? You're fighting Canelo a second time, right? So, that doesn't make sense to me. Doesn't make sense. Now, disrespect doesn't get you the fight, or what has Jamal Charlo done? I mean, he's doing what the WBC is telling him. Code words. We know what that is. But this has been a great stream. Shout out to all y'all. Shout out to the code words. We see it. We see it. King of Wakanda. We did some hot seats. Let's do a quick roll call. I'm really about to get out. I got to make a call. But let's do a quick roll call. Shout out to Wakanda. Wakanda forever, man. We doing it. We the gang gang. And they mad. The haters mad. They staying broke. And that's just what it's going to be. Then they get mad. Oh, your channel sucks. Sucks, but you making 4-5 different screen names to come back each time. Tony Jackson said, bless up, Ego. God bless the fans. Shout out to Miami, Kennewick, Athens, Brooklyn. Shout out to Wakanda, Sydney, 510 Town Business, 919 Harrisburg, PA, Gang Gang, Portland, Antarctica, Maryland, Lions Only, 410 Dallas, Texas, Ego Runs Boxing. Y'all know what it is, man. AZ, New Orleans, Las Vegas, Rhode Island, Baltimore, Tucson, Arizona, DC, Texas, Virginia, Ego's World from the Bronx. Shout out to the BX, right? Shout out to Houston, Milwaukee, Philadelphia, Queens, Wichita, Kansas, New Media or No Media. Y'all know that. Tulsa, Oklahoma, 916. Salute to all the boxing fans and the fans that want the best fight, and the fans that want the truth, and the fans that want the real. I see you. Shout out to Ego's Army too. I told you, we are the Mafia. Ego Mafia. We are the mob. Money on top of boxing. Let's get it. Till the next one. Peace out, y'all.